Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 9:45 on the East Coast and 6:45 on the West Coast. Want to take you now out to Arkansas, where we have Governor Huckabee Sanders as she is speaking about legislation there related to China.
Tremendous help and support in these efforts. I also want to thank a number of the other legislators that are in the crowd today. We've had an incredibly productive session and look forward to continuing to move the ball forward on common sense conservative reforms. And thank you for your willingness to keep working with our team. In my first year in office, I was proud to be the first governor in the country to kick China off of our farmland and out of our state. Unfortunately, the Chinese Communist Party isn't a threat that's going away anytime soon. President Trump was the first president in my lifetime to take a hard line against the CCP, and Arkansas needs to have his back. That's why today I'm announcing the Communist China Defense Legislative Package, a sweeping set of bills that will defend Arkansas from foreign bad actors. Headlines around the country prove why this is such a critical thing to do. Last year, an aide in New York State government was actually arrested for acting as a foreign agent for the Chinese Communist Party. This woman blocked Taiwanese officials from meeting with state leadership, cut mentions of Taiwan out of official documents, and requested unauthorized pro-CCP proclamations from the governor. She wasn't subtle about it either. She spent her time gloating to Chinese consular officials about her activities and lived all while living in a $3.6 million home paid for in part by bribes and gifts from the Chinese government. And sadly, she's hardly the only example of communist Chinese influence in our country and in state government. In the past 4 years, there have been more than 60 CCP-linked espionage cases in 20 different states. Of all the economic espionage in the U.S., the FBI estimates that 80% of it is driven by communist China. Border Patrol agents apprehended more than 64,000 Chinese nationals under the Biden administration, and an untold more entered our country undetected. And just this past December, a Chinese national in California was caught flying a drone over one of our Space Force bases and taking photos. He was arrested trying to board a flight back to China. The threat is real, and the enemy is here. They're targeting state governments, military bases, industrial sites, and every other facet of American society. And with President Trump back in the White House, I'm afraid they're only going to try to undermine our country more. That's why today we will take an even harder line against communist Chinese influence here in the state of Arkansas. We previously banned companies linked to the CCP and other foreign adversaries from owning farmland, and that prohibition and banned those companies now from leasing property and owning property near our critical infrastructure. And we will shorten the amount of time a banned company has to divest from our state. We will also ban lobbying on behalf of communist China, Russia, and other adversaries. Arkansas cities and towns won't be able to have a sister city in communist China anymore. And we will withhold funding from colleges and universities that have a Confucius Institute or similar organization, which we know have been used as a front for spying in other states. And any state-sponsored entity, including colleges and universities and our state retirement systems, will have to divest from communist China. We will also ban made-in-China promotional items from state government. These items should be made in America. Every state in the country has a role to play in defending America from our foreign adversaries, and I'm proud that Arkansas is leading the way. I'll now turn it over to some of our legislators and our sponsors of this to deliver a few remarks and then come up and take a couple of questions. Senator Johnson, we'll start with you. Thank you for being here today.
It's always lovely to go behind the governor, who is a great speaker. We are a great and free nation and a great and free state, but we are not to be taken advantage of for our freedoms. I'm glad to serve with a governor and a legislative body who is willing to stop enabling our enemies